Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. The purpose of these videos is not to destroy the truth of the Bible, not to slander God or Christ. Only thing I am doing here on this video is to destroy what I was in, a dangerous cult. And this is Jehovah Witnesses. People like me grew up in this crazy cult, and it destroyed my family, and I have seen it destroy many families. I have seen so much abuse in my family from my dad because he was pushing us to be perfect children in this religion. It requires us to study hard and progress in this religion. This religion has destroyed so many lives all over. I have seen with my own eyes many families broken up, disfellowship, and it's still going on to this day. It's bad when the governing body, the leaders of this religion, is still claiming to be the only channel to God, and every information that's supposed to come from heaven is actually coming from themselves, or the spirit realm of Satan the devil. The reason I say that is because when you find so much evil, corruptness in Jehovah Witnesses, you cannot say it's being guided spiritually or physically by God. There's no evidence. When people join this religion, they have no clue. They don't tell you what the outcome is if you disobey and you decided you didn't want to be a Jehovah Witness. When you have a split marriage, means one part of the family rejects or not want to join Jehovah Witnesses, and the other is and become a Jehovah Witness. It draws a line between the marriage, because one person had not done their research on this religion. And I know many people I have met after I left this organization, how their mothers came into this religion and trying to bring everybody from the husband and the children into this wonderful, beautiful religion. And there is nothing in that religion that's beautiful except the love bombing, which you can get that anywhere. You can get love bombed by any religion. And that makes all over the world other religions is true religion when they love bomb the new members? I leave that choice to you. I found something interesting, and it was given to me from a friend of mine, and I was listening to it, and I made an audio out of it, because that's the greatest thing about the iPhone is you can highlight it and you can let it read every word by word. Plus my eyes, because they're weak, so just take the strain off my eyes. So let me play this and we'll take it from there.
Ever passes without my getting a distress call from either a woman whose husband is a JW and is a tyrant, or who is seeking to leave the watchtower and her husband is threatening divorce, or worse. What could be worse, you say? Usually these situations are accompanied by either physical or emotional abuse, and often if there are children the threat of a custody suit is hung over the woman's head. This is not to say that it doesn't work the other way around, either. There are many cases where the wife has just become a witness, or who is persecuting her husband for either leaving or not becoming a witness, but the potential for abuse is usually less in such cases. Why? Largely due to the watchtower's view of women. Jehovah's Witnesses will emphatically point out that they do not consider women to be lesser creatures, and that God created male and female equal. The Watchtower magazine often carries positive articles about give and take in the marital arrangement, and how husbands should respect their wives, etc. But since the Watchtower is a strong hierarchical system, run by several old men in Brooklyn who grew up long before women's lib affected our modern society, it is not surprising that many of their attitudes towards women would be passed off to others in the organization, especially those who have a proclivity towards ill treatment of women. Of course, there are many loving husbands among the ranks of Jehovah's Witnesses. This is not an indictment against all, but in this article I will point out what scriptures the witnesses like to focus on, their understanding of headship, and how their teachings differ from actual practice. Additionally, we will see how seeking position in the congregation puts extra strain on the wife. Typically, it happens like this. The husband runs into an old friend or work acquaintance who starts telling him about JWs and world conditions, etc. The husband starts a study, and discovers his life can have new meaning by adopting a new cause, and that is saving the world, as well as his family. This becomes like a drug which pushes him to more activity, which in turn feeds his zealousness. The husband may feel like...
And yes, it's a drug. Because most religions out there teach the basic thing that people goes to heaven, people goes to hell, or burning hell, and earth gets blown up. Jehovah Witnesses use the Bible, teach that the earth is going to remain forever, and there's going to be people living on the earth, reside on it, on the earthly paradise. Okay, that part is true, but that doesn't mean they have the truth. Satan the devil has played this game with many religions, cultures, from day one, from Adam and Eve all the way up to our time. There's so many religions out there. If you don't study and learn the origin of this religion and find out why so many members have left these religions, you will never find out the truth if you are in a cult. Good people just don't pack up their stuff and leave a religion if it's the truth. It gotta be something, the reason why members are leaving these religions. And the best way to find that, people, is get online and type in ex-Mormons, ex-Jehovah Witnesses, and see if there's any reason why people left this religion. And then see the information they found, put up videos. And then if you decided to join or study with Jehovah Witness, then you'll know the truth before you become a Jehovah Witness. Because then you can ask many questions to see if they're going to tell you the truth or they don't know the truth. Are you real enough to take your family and sacrifice them to a false religion, to a false God? There's people out there that we share our information to show them the name Jehovah is nowhere near the original name of God, which Jeffrey Jackson admitted that. But for some reason they won't do the research. They still let other people in their groups to use this name. So it makes you wonder, why would you want people to worship a false God? Why would you want people to believe in this false God? Because this is what makes this religion. It's this false God Jehovah. Without Jehovah, there is no Jehovah Witnesses. And people won't stop using this name because it's planted in their heads when you become a Jehovah Witness. I like to stop using this name, but fortunately, that's the only way I can make these videos. Because unless people see the truth, what is the head of this organization and the backbone is this false name. People will not believe. This name has been almost going worldwide. It's not even a Hebrew name. And that's where the foundation is supposed to be. Hebrew. Not English. Not Latin. And not Greek. Hebrew. And this name being planted from its original history from the Catholics until other Bible scholars, writers wanted to make more Bibles and found this name, and now it's more, looks so much beautiful today than what originally when it was written in the past. But that is part of the problem, why there's so many bad marriages on the false name of God. And that is the backbone of this religion, this cult. Let's continue.
He is waking up from a long sleep, and that life is now more exciting and dramatic. The watchtower tells the husband that the devil is out to dissuade him from the truth, and that he will use every means possible to keep him away from meetings and field service, and will especially seek to work through his wife and children. This phobia, coupled with the strong encouragement by the elders to be the head of his household, drives a man to be fanatical. A total personality change may occur, as what happened in the following letter, recently sent in by a reader who wishes her name not mentioned in case her husband finds out. Dear Randy, I really need and enjoy your newsletter. My husband was just baptized in June after studying only 5 months. I live, for the most part, with an absolute stranger. He's become rude, pompous and abusive. He is like a robot. They told him to refuse his own pre-donated blood during major back surgery last year, and he did. They told him he should quit his job as a police officer, and just 2 weeks ago, he did. He is gone 13-14 hours per week at meetings and out in service, and is constantly reading their little books. He's told me to convert or get out several times. I feel he is pushing me out, perhaps at their directive. I've told him only Satan wants our marriage to fail, but I'm just about worn out. You certainly know this scenario by now. What I really need help with is if you or any of your readers have any statistics on what happens to the children in divided homes like ours. I am so concerned about our 2- and 3-year-old little girls. At this point, they have never been in a Kingdom Hall but go to church with me. However, he is starting to talk about taking them with him. I don't know what to do. Won't it be terribly confusing for them to attend alternate weekends at churches? And if I leave, he seems so full of hatred towards me. I could only imagine what my babies would go through in visitation. Since I have a wonderful, active church, would they just get sick of Kingdom Hall in time? I don't want them to be robbed of Jesus and the Bible like my husband has been, not to mention their eternal lives. I can hardly believe anything so evil is growing so much. I have been truly blessed by having a great support group of ex-JWs and others affected by them to fellowship and pray with. Please help if you can in Christian love. Name withheld. What causes this kind of anger and sudden personality change in the husband? It generally occurs with a husband who has not been a responsible husband in the first place, though possibly having been married for several years. He is aware of his shortcomings and failures, and so
Yeah. Some people had anger problems, chip on the shoulders, and all of a sudden someone knock on the door, or a buddy at the job, tell them about their wonderful life, their wonderful family, and this person said, this is what I need. This is what I need to bring my family closer. Not him just turn around and realizing his mistakes. He's using religion, thinking religion is going to turn him into a better person. All he has to do is stop what he's doing is evil. Not joining an evil religion to undo his anger, his issue problem, mistreating his family when he's not a religious person. Let's continue.
Feels a measure of guilt about it. Then along comes the witnesses, offering him a quick fix in terms of a new outlook and the zeal to take control of his life. Yet, in his efforts to improve his family life, he ends up driving his wife and children away. Why? Generally because the wife and children do not see this new person as their real husband or father. He has become a monster, always being threatened by any challenge to the...
And the monster part, that is true. Because my stepdad, which I consider him as a father, became a monster. And he's still a monster to this day because he was self-blind when he became in this religion. His fathership of being a true father left him when he became a Jehovah Witness. This is the reason why we put up these videos. This is the reason why we do the work we do. Let's continue.
The Watchtower's teachings or any criticism of his new lifestyle and his spending time with the JWs. If the wife accuses him of joining a cult or even just being a fanatic, this is persecution, and is automatically the devil speaking through his wife. Nothing can divide a family quicker than believing your wife is being used by the devil to destroy your spirituality. This causes, in turn, a sense of self-righteousness, as the husband seems to feel he is doing everything by the Bible and is totally in God's will, while at the same time he perceives his wife as being closed to spiritual things, and begins to notice her supposed moral shortcomings. He is seeking God, and she is resisting God, which inevitably leads to arguments. When the husband attends meetings at the Kingdom Hall, he gets nothing but sympathy for his situation with his unbelieving wife, and gets no shortage of unofficial advice from the brothers. What kind of advice? Most JW men and especially the elders are hesitant to recommend divorce unless the wife is actually fighting against the truth, but then that is left open to interpretation. When his wife is emphatic against his taking the kids to the Kingdom Hall, or in going out in service instead of spending time with the family, he may very well see this as her fighting against the truth and give her an ultimatum. Either join and or drop your objections, or leave. Often it becomes a good excuse to get out of a marriage that was considered undesirable for some time, but previously the husband had no justifiable reason for divorce. Now he can get a divorce and feel self-righteous about it as well. This opportunity is too much for some men to pass up. If the husband is appointed as an elder or ministerial servant, this becomes an added pressure to get his family together. These are coveted positions involving power over others, and the man's desire to obtain this may overpower any other feelings of love or devotion to his household. As in the letter just printed, the wife, in turn, may resent his new position because of the drastic change it has brought about in her husband, and the husband may interpret this as her efforts to impede or destroy his progress, thus resulting in anger and argumentation. What can a woman do? For many women whose husbands are zealous witnesses, whether the wife is one or not, the options seem very narrow: put up with him or divorce him. However, there are a few other things that can be done to buy out time and hope for change. Prayer and the support of other Christian friends is helpful. Activities within the local church and special classes on marriage may be of help. Professional counseling so as to understand one's options is often very helpful, and I recommend it. These activities can help clear the emotional cobwebs that prevent the wife from making an intelligent decision as to what to ultimately do with regards to her marriage and her children. Note the following suggestions. Get the advice of others who are wise and have experience in these matters. They may be in your local church, in ministries to Jehovah's Witnesses near you, or in professional counseling. Getting involved in church or other activities, as well as prayer meetings, can help balance out one's life and keep one from getting despondent as often. but should not be used as a way to ignore the situation. Either write or call the women who have submitted their letters in this issue and gain courage and wisdom from them. If their name or address is not listed, send your letter inside another envelope to us, and we will forward your letter to the anonymous person. Many women who have felt like they are going crazy and who feel all alone have been helped dramatically by talking to others who have been through the same thing. Divorce is not the end of the world, nor will God despise you for it. If you feel you just cannot take the abuse any longer, don't be afraid to believe that God understands your situation and loves you.
I'll play the last part to show there's many women out there, are Jehovah Witnesses or any other religions, that their husbands is abusive person, blinded by his own cult, false religion, destroying a happy marriage. The children don't even recognize him no more. The wife now thinks she's sleeping with someone just had a new brain transplant, because he don't think for himself anymore. He think just like a Borg collective, robots, androids, how you want to, that they are part of a group, a hive, and they obey and don't think, because you're not allowed to think. People, now, before my closing, I got one more question to ask. Are you willing to give up your family and join a dangerous religion, and to see your family fall apart like mine and others? Do you really want to take that chance? I'll let you think about it, because either way, the outcome, you may end up behind a camera and going to tell your story when you had a chance to listen to mine and others, and you failed to believe our story. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.